again. Thank you. I just want to explain something here because we want to retain as much of data as we can. We know information is quite important. And also we learn from where we are coming from to reflect to where we are so that we can plan to where we are going. Why am I saying that? This is why I'm saying this is because every person who come here will be admitted, and the history of this organization and this place particularly, we want to capture it on these halls. You see how the plaster for the security guard is. That's how some certain patterns here will be decorated, and there will be paintings that will be speaking of the life of this project. That's why for you guys who are artists, you are maybe gifted as an artist. This is the place you can come and speak and capture or write your drawings here. But more important for me, per se, for instance, this project, particularly this house, was inspired by my late friend called Chisham Sonda. Chisham Sonda was an architect who designed this building. He was a trustee for this place. The man loved the Lord. The man was generous to give. He gave us all the things we needed for us to start running or building. But with that in mind, we want to capture his life story in here. So we'll write what he stood for, who he was, and what impact he made to many people. And the people have a space to reflect, and we'll write that. So followed by that, we'll be looking at clients or residents that has come here. There are residents that may come here because the family abandoned them. We'll capture their story, how they came here, where we met them, and what made them to be here, and what impact the staff and the other residents have made on their lives. Some of them may be people who never knew where they are heading to. But through these walls, we are going to capture their stories. So this is what we call the Hall of Fame, capturing life stories. I have a friend of mine who is taking the camera woman who is recording right now, called Jenny. Jenny and I, we have come far. And now Jenny is here, and Jenny is recording and coming up with all these things. One day, she may appear on this, how Jenny decided to leave UK and come and do voluntary or come on a mission trip with me and do some work, and what she learned and how our presence here changed us. Like recently, she was training staff at the material aftercare. For the first time, she has done training, she has done so many things, and her life story and where she's coming from, and the woman, she spoke to one of our residents in Livingstone. And that itself, not only did it change Jenny, but it changed our resident, and it all changed us. So that kind of stories will be captured here. And why am I saying this? I'm also saying to the research community, this is also the things we'll get back and do a research and bring a narrative story out of this to make things, to change things, even in policy implementation. But more important, we want you who is listening to me, one day, you may feel like you are nobody. You may feel like there's nothing happening in your life. You may feel like you cannot contribute to society. I came to encourage you, no matter where you are today, no matter how you feel today, your life counts. You are not an accident. You never know. When you popped in here, you just come, just come. You don't need to know much, but just come. You'll find that there are hidden treasures within you that will capture. Once your life is opened, you'll find that your life will not only change you, but you will start changing many lives around you. And it is those stories, when you tell, you share the story. I can't wait to see your name here on the Hall of Fame. When you came here, how you were, to where you are, and what has happened to you. And that story, those stories will be covered throughout with a lot of artistic paintings. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward. I have one artist who said, I'm willing to volunteer and do some drawings for you. Others came and said, okay, they are willing to ask us to pay a little bit towards it. And as much as that is the case, more important, we want that to be done. And once it's done, this will look beautiful and there will be a nice place to sit. So every time any person comes, we'll take you through the whole film. You'll be guided. Imagine you are getting on a river cruise boat. You have a guiding tour. That tour will tell you, this is where we are coming from, this is how we moved. I'll talk about in the next video where Umoya started and how the old people began. All those stories will be captured here. And the purpose of those stories is not only just to cover the old, but to ensure that we do not forget where we have come from. Some of you may sing us like this today, but we have a story where we have come from. Some of us, we have come from a place where we have been so vulnerable. But somebody helped us, somebody picked us on the way. And it is those stories that we want to bring in here. There are people that say, Sydney, I was without family, but you became my family. We have picked up, adopted, you hear me, many people say, my son, my daughter, my nephew, all those things. Some of them we are not even physically or biologically related to. But through interaction and over the years, we have become one family. You hear me of the story of the manager for this press, Mrs. Gosi from South Africa. She is my mom. She's my mom. She picked me from nowhere. But today, she is the one managing all the way from South Africa. Why? Her story will also be captured. What is the purpose? To encourage you and me. More important also for you, I personally would like to see your story being captured here. Why? Because your story has a meaning. Your story has an impact. If the story is untold, that's why they say the greatest place in the world today, the richest place in the world, is the graveyard. You know why? Because ideas and stories that haven't been said or told or brought forth has died with men and women in the graveyard or in the crematorium. I don't want your story to end up there. We want your story to be captured here, and researchers and students from universities and across the globe who come and capture those stories to encourage others. So, you don't know how your story will impact us. We really want you. How do you get here? Come and work. Be part of Umoya. We are a winning team, helping the most vulnerable people, one person at a time. We are not helping. Everybody is vulnerable. You are vulnerable. I am vulnerable. But together we can work together. That's why we are Umoya. I'll talk about what Umoya means. Umoya means togetherness, spirit, wind, and all those things. So we need your story to be captured here. Once it is captured here, it's not for you. You know what we went through? You thought you went through for you. You went it through for me. Your pain was that I can be encouraged. I can say, if you can make it, I can make it. Remember when you were neglected. Remember when you felt vulnerable. Remember when you could not feed yourself for those of you. You remember when you lived in a luxury house. That experience was not only for you, but it can encourage me. It's a motivation. You are a motivator. This video and message is for you. We need you. You may not feel like we need you, or there's nobody who needs you in life. I came to tell you today, we need you, the world needs you, the world needs your story. You are a book, you are studying in your own book. You are not a fiction, you are a real book that we want to capture on these walls. The halls of fame. The halls of fame that will bring life transformation. I see a dream, personally I have a dream where men and women, statements, for instance, the president of nations will come to this place. When they walk in here, we want them to hear those stories. Then they will realize that they may be in the Paris. They are there for such a time as this. They are there for such a time as this, so that when they hear the story, they will reflect, what have they done on life that we can write on this wall? Your story can change somebody in State House, Come with me again. I'm so passionate about this. You know, I'm looking forward now. When you see here, that's a septic tank. If you didn't know, we are going to make pavers here. Pavers here. And here there will be a car park. This car park specifically is for staff and private ambulance. It will be kept here. We are going to buy a private ambulance where when there is a death, we will be using that route and put everything, and there will be a holding area here. I don't want to scare you, but the reality is that people die. And when they die, we need to manage that. We have a plan for that. And this place, that's where the managers will keep their cars and things like that. Let's come with me. Come with me now. The whole thing. Look at this beautiful structure. Look at this beautiful structure. When I looked back, the other day I was looking at the accounts, and I looked at when we were doing final returns, financial returns, I looked at how much we have spent on this building. I said, God, where did this money come from? Because I have never touched it. It comes, it goes. And because men and women have been faithful to work hard, we have come this far. Yes, we need a maintenance man to make sure the place is well looked after. We need people that needs to make sure our people are being looked after. So far, I can tell you that some of you it's prayer, some of you it's encouragement, some of you it's giving. I want some of you, particularly the UK team, they have worked so hard. They have worked so hard to this far. The Lord has helped us to the level that where we are today. Now look at this. This will be very nice and beautiful. We are working on these things so that this place continues. The whole frame might come back again. You can see the panels. There are many, many. You cannot afford not to be there. How do you get there? Come here. All residents that have passed here and they have died, particularly from here, or we know where they are, they will end up here, everybody. Because we know the stories that when they come in, we'll journey with them. We are here to impact lives one person at a time. Each one of them will have a stone here written for them. Now here we are, here we are. You may be here saying, well, why is it taking us or talking about walls of fame, talking about all these things? I have brought you to here. You see here, these tanks now. This is the tank. I wish I can testify what happened. We dug a bore down there. When we started getting water, we couldn't find water there. It became a dry borehole. Now where we are here, we built these tanks. There are 10,000 liters, two of them, which is 20,000. That when they are full, it's a full capacity to distribute water to this compound. So we should be having enough water. Now listen, this is what happened. Our dry bowl became dry. Now here, we didn't know what to do. We had no water. Only to discover that I had to tell somebody next door. I built a bowl just outside 20 meters from here to there. And there is a connector. To us, it's a miracle that happened. So we just built this stuff and connected it. After connecting it, we had water in this 20,000, and we had no problem with water for the past 7 months. Now here we are. I'll show you when I go up the mountain and the story behind the mountain. However, for now, this is what has happened. When we came this time, we found that there's no water, and when we went there, the borehole has collapsed. In other words, we do not have sustainable water. Now listen, why is this important? I met the government officials a few days ago with my colleague. When we met them, they said you can even have 8 people by Monday. Now, here we are. Here we are. Listen to me again. By Monday, a few days, tomorrow, in other words, we can have 2 people here. Staff are there, well trained. We are here, we can look after them. But look, we have no water right now. We do not have water, so there is an emergency. This is an appeal. I will record it in a different video probably. But this is an appeal to say we need water right now. The borehole cost 100,000 Zambian kwacha, which is just over 5,000 pounds, or about $6,000 US. I need that. Right now, if you gave me that money, we are going to have water, and we are going to have at least 8 to 10 people living in this compound from this week. Help us, please. We appeal to you. We appeal to you. This is why we are saying your life counts. You may have money sitting for a rainy day. You may have money sitting somewhere you don't know where to take it. I'm not saying deprive yourself from nice and luxury things, but we are saying give us water. Give us water. When you give us water, you appear on the whole fame to say we were in a dry oasis. We were in a desert, but we found oasis by somebody giving their money, giving their resources, and the borehole was discovered. Mind you, in this area, part of Lusaka, you'll find that it's just a dry area. Water is difficult to dig. The nearest meters you can go, let me tell you, it's about 110 meters going down. In other words, from this wall to the end of the wall and more. That's how deep you go down to find water. For us to find that water, we need 100,000 Zambian kwacha. That is 5,000, just over 5,000, or pounds, or 6,000 US dollars. If you give us their details, will be there. You can contact us. Tomorrow you are the savior for your people, and the people that we will show you in other places who have nowhere to stay. We have rooms we'll show you later, but they are vacant. We have no water, and an opportunity has risen. This is an opportunity. This is a challenge for you. This is an opportunity. Who knows that you have that money for such an appeal like this, so that you and your family can say, at least we made a difference to humanity. We changed somebody's life. We gave water to somebody. We need water. There is an appeal for water for Africa. But this is water for connect and care. Connect with us. Care with us. Connect. Come back and connect. This is an opportunity. You mean a lot. You may not have 5,000 in cash. You may not have a lot of money with it. But one drop, 1 pound appeal towards water, as long as you indicate that this is towards water, start giving us. Start giving us. I'm not putting it in my pocket. My pockets actually are empty. They are torn apart. That's why I wear trousers with empty pockets. Because when the moment you give me money, it goes to the need. It goes to where it's supposed to be. If that is the case, you will be rest assured. You can call the office. If you want to check our books anytime, you can go online. You can see our independent examiners' accounts. They are there. We are not using anybody's money for other causes. Here we are, an appeal for water. Please, 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 I beg you that you give us some money so that we can have water. Thank you very much for now. I'll come back, I'll appeal, I'll come back. You can pause now.